welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Dani and this is Coffee Break with Dani. Today we are here with a get ready with me that, oh boy, did it make us work hard for. So if you guys are interested in chatting, hanging out, probably not learning anything at all except spending some quality time together, then all you have to do is keep on watching. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and get started. So here's our mission. Our mission for today is use an eyeshadow palette we haven't used before. And two, I should have said one, and then two is not have to stand up once. Ideally, I'd like to have everything that I need in this box. That means that anything that matches my skin tone, anything that I like, anything that I've been enjoying, anything that passed the test lives in this box at this moment. And I shouldn't have to, for any reason, get up to get anything because it should all be sitting here. So, are we up for the challenge? All right, let's pretend we are up for the challenge and that I also brushed my hair today and move on. I'm gonna take this. You guys, I'm devastated. I wish I had the other one. See, I needed to stand up. So Makeup Revolution has an exact dupe for the Milk Makeup Blur Stick, which happens to be discontinued because basically I am the Black Widow and the Kiss of Death. And anytime that I talk about something that is amazing, holy grail, or that, you know, changed my life, a brand decides to discontinue it. A la Caress, a la Carefree, a la, you know, like need I go on? Basically, most of the things that I'm like, wow, this is amazing. Everyone go out and get it. Like, we need to whisper that stuff from now on so that the word doesn't get out and then they discontinue it. I don't know why Milk Makeup discontinued it. Maybe because they came up with that illuminating one, but I don't see why someone that wants a mattifying, pore filling blur stick, why they would want it replaced with like a glowing highlighter stick. You know, it doesn't seem interchangeable. So anyway, do you guys remember in the last Get Ready With Me when I was struggling to open these serum concealers from It Cosmetics? So I've been playing with them more off camera, obviously. And the perfect way to use these, and I've actually been using the shade Medium Neutral 33, so the same one that I used in that Get Ready With Me, is the color that I've been using, and I use it anywhere that I want on my face. So to me, it functions more like a skincare with tint that sets. So it's kind of awesome. And the key to getting it to set is obviously if you have a layer of moisturizer, sunscreen, whatever, you gotta let that kind of hang out for a little bit. But the key to letting it set is to deposit it wherever you want on your skin. And similar to Shape Tape from Tarte, you just let it sit. And it almost dries out a little bit and it turns into almost like a thicker concealer pigment, and then you can bump it out, blend it out with a brush, whatever. You could even use the little brush that it has on the tip and it works awesome. So that's what we're gonna do today, but I might, don't look at my mess, okay? Like whatever's happening back here, your eyes are on me. So what I'm gonna do is I will bump it on my skin and show you where I leave it, and then I'll cut out some footage. So when it gets on your skin, it actually appears super, oh, wow, look at that. It actually appears really, really moist. No, really wet. Let me try and get you guys in a little closer to my face. There we go. So it appears really wet. Do you see that? So I'm just gonna put a couple dots here. I think I have enough left. Do you guys remember I talked about that in that Get Ready With Me where I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. Not a lot of product comes out when you pull out the doe foot applicator, and it really doesn't. And that's awesome because you don't have to do the scrapey scrape on the side of the container, which really, it irks me in a very sensory stimulation in a bad way kind of way. So I love this shade too. So if you guys are on the neutral fence, so you're kind of in between, you don't know if you're warm, you don't know if you're cool or whatever, or you look great in gold and silver, or your veins are greenish purple instead of just purple, or just, you know what I'm trying to say. So if you're a neutral, this is a really good shade for those of you that are kind of flirting with the line of light, medium, medium. You know, it's a really flattering. It's a very neutral shade. Have you guys ever, if you're on the neutral side, like where you like to shop neutral, have you ever noticed how hard it is to get an actual good neutral where it really does play where's my paper towel? Where it really does play well, you know what I'm saying? Like it's an actual true neutral. This is a true neutral. So let me see if I can get a close-up shot of what I'm talking about. Do you see that sheen that it has right now? So it's super wet looking. And if you just kind of leave it alone for a little while, just hang out, I don't know, just scroll through TikTok or Amazon, or, you know, pull the trigger on your Sephora cart or whatever, or just add this serum to your cart. And you just kind of let it hang out, a little few minutes go by. It sort of starts to dry down. It's not as wet looking. Obviously, the thinner the layer you do, the quicker it'll dry. I do not suggest doing a very, very thin layer, like a very thin swipe, because it will dry super fast and then you can't blend it. So yeah, it does get to the point where you'll get the line of demarcation, like over here, you can see it's almost dry. And that's gonna be super hard to blend out. So when you have areas that are drying out first, start there first. So here, you want to start there since that area is already kind of drying down. Over here. You guys, I'm making miracles right now because I'm not using a mirror. I'm using the viewfinder and it's like in reverse, and we all know how I am with anything that requires any sense of like remote coordination. Can't do it. All right, there we go. So I'm just gonna do a little bit on the chin. We already did down here. My forehead's pretty, you see right here, it's kind of drying down. I'm pushing the limit right now on how wet it is. I would let it go even a little further. Just don't want to keep you guys on the hook this long, you know? I want to be efficient. So just wherever you decide to put it. And this is a great product because if you guys aren't super crazy about, why do I always wear the noisy watch when I'm filming with you guys? So it's not happening. We're breaking up. I don't want to keep you guys on the hook for too long. Oh, this is a great serum concealer for those of you that are exploring the advantages of not wearing really heavy face products. I know my face looks pink right now, but it's the light. And so it's a really great option for that because it provides enough coverage to feel like you're doing something. It feels like a skincare. So again, you feel like you're doing something. I think like the older I get, everything has to have a benefit. Like everything has to do something. Everything has to have an advantage. Like if I'm going to a restaurant, it's because I have a promo or a coupon. It just makes it that much more exciting. And so that's the same way I feel about my makeup products. I'm like, okay, if I'm gonna buy this new concealer, can I use it as a foundation on my lazy days? If I'm gonna buy this new concealer, does it have hyaluronic acid? Does it set on its own if I don't wanna use a powder? You know, those are all questions that I have and that I look for when I'm testing out a new product. I really want it to be multifaceted. Like I want it to be an asset to my life and not just a perk or a deficit, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, that's all I'm putting on my face right now. So you can see my freckles are still showing through. You can see the tan around my forehead. You could see spots or blemishes that I have. The camera's doing a little bit something weird with the color. I think it's because I'm so close with the dark shirt on, dress. But we are gonna set it regardless because we're all about that thug life. This is how we roll and we're just gonna go with it. And so I'm just taking a little bit of powder on a beauty blender. You know which powder I'm using. I don't want to talk about it because again, it got discontinued. And again, when you use that little bit of product on your face, then guess what? You have to use less product to set that product, or you don't even need to set it at all. There are times like when I go volunteer at my son's school, I'll just dot a little bit of that serum concealer and I won't even set it. Like I'm totally cool with just leaving it alone and letting it hang out. And I'm feeling very personally victimized by the way that this is picking up on camera. Does it look pink and powdery to you guys? Because I promise it's not. Like what the heck? So I thought for today we would do our brows like usual. We would do, I don't know what we can do with our face, like cheek and blush wise. I'm just taking my favorite brow pencil, the e.l.f. $3 one. You know what's funny is I've been using this brow pencil for years and like I don't know the exact name of it. Instant Lift Brow Pencil. I just call it the $3 pencil from e.l.f. because it's awesome and I love it. And if you guys have been watching me for the last 10 years, Do you remember when I got started, it was all about the Anastasia Brow Wiz? Anastasia. That was a whole thing, you guys. That was a whole thing, and so was Buxom, like the name of a lot of these products. And I was all about that Brow Wiz life, and it was like the drier and the thinner, the better, because then you get the hair-like strokes. And now I'm like, oh, can I have a pencil that is waxy, but not waxy like the Wet n Wild one? Do you guys remember that one I tried on camera? So bad. Like I'd swipe and then I'd swipe over it and the pencil would come off. Like the wax would stick to the wax, the waxiness of the pencil. So it was like, you better get it right on that first stroke, otherwise. Like, I'm like, relax, I'm not Tiger Woods. I don't need that kind of pressure, you know? So it was hard, it was challenging. But it's nice to look back and say, do you remember when? Because I don't know if there's many of us that do remember when. You know, when we were talking about the Estee Lauder double wears and, you know, the cream contour started to become super popular and I was like a huge advocate against it. I was like, relax, theater, like this isn't Annie. You don't need to be wearing that much makeup unless you want to. And then I had my phase where I did love using lashes and lashes were awesome. But then I was like, you know what? I realized when I wear eyelashes, my eyelids feel really heavy. That's a weird symptom, okay? So like, are you ever aware of your eyelids, right? Like I'm aware of my hands, I'm aware of my shoulders or what my arms are doing, but like there's certain parts of your body, are you actually aware? Like, do you know what your left butt cheek is doing right now? You know? And so it's like, are you aware of certain areas of your body? My eyelids weren't something that I was aware of. And when I would put on fake lashes, I was like, oh, there are my eyelids. Wow, I can feel them. And I know exactly what they're doing and what they're doing, how they're blinking and where they're located and how they're feeling. And it was a very interesting feeling. So the best way that I can describe beauty and makeup is I saw a post or an article. I don't remember what it was, but my Instagram does a very good job at spying on me and curating my feed or my suggestions to stuff that I like generational trauma and healing and stuff like that. And, you know, most of the time I feel violated because I'm like, whoa, what color is my underwear? Because I know you're snooping. But other times I do find like beautiful, beautiful gems. And one of those gems was, you know, it's okay to have liked something and then not like it anymore. It's okay to have been super outspoken about something and then say, you know what, I changed my mind. I don't agree with myself anymore. This is my new opinion. Like, that's all okay. It's okay to have a friend for 10 years and then say, you know what, this no longer fits within my boundaries of comfort and growth and satisfaction or whatever. And so with makeup, it's the same thing. You know, you're allowed to say, hey, you know what? Do you guys remember my eyebrows 10 years ago? Yeah. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And now, I mean, back then I was preaching all about the matte, full coverage, cover every inch of my face, make it look like a mask, you know? And now I'm like, look, my freckles, they're showing. I love summer because my sunspots come back and I look tan, you know? So makeup, as not deep as it is, it's pretty deep in the sense of you can change your mind. You can do something and say you like it and then say you don't like it anymore. Or you can try something, try it on for size and you don't like it or you do love it. Like, hey, you know what? I've never actually done the waxy, wispy, feathery that look like you got electrocuted. Like I've never actually done them, but I've said I don't like them. But I've also said if you like them and you do them, that's awesome and I support you. So maybe if I try them, I'm gonna be like, oh. Anyway, take this very shallow topic and read into it very deeply like I just did, or just laugh at the connections that I'm trying to make in something that doesn't even exist here. All right, I said I wasn't gonna get up, so rolling doesn't count. I'm rolling to get my brushes. Have you guys seen our boyfriend in the background? No? Anybody? Are we still playing that game of look for Armando? Because he's right there, he's in the mix. He's trying to see what you guys are doing. Anyway, we are going to grab some colors from these palettes that I spoke about in our PR haul. There we go. Okay, I was getting a little scared about the tone that the serum was showing up because I was like, I can't be telling you guys like, oh my God, this is so awesome. Look at how great it looks. And then I look like I dipped my head in pancake batter. Okay, big fluffy brush. And how about this one? This one, is that pretty? Oh, that is pretty. Okay, let's do that. We're just gonna take a big fluffy brush into that color. And do you guys remember these are the Buxom cocktails or whatever? Whatever doesn't make me sound very professional, and I'm gonna sound exactly like I sound with my own son when Mateo's like, you know, the thingy of the whatever and the thingamajig, and I'm like, hey, hey, hey. I don't remember how close you were to me or how zoomed in you were, so let's just pretend that my camera, let's see the tone again, it's better. Okay, so my camera just overheated and shut down and I was talking to you guys. I always tell my son, I'm like, use proper words, and if you don't know the word, don't say thingamajig or thingy. You know, say, I'm forgetting the word for, and then describe what you're trying to say. I'm like, sounding unintelligent isn't cool. Like, that's never been a thing. And what happens is we create these habits or these patterns of getting used to speaking that way or getting into a comfort zone. And while it is cute in 5th grade, it's not gonna be cute for very long. So I told him, I was like, look, people like smart people, people like funny people, people like brave people. Those are all really good traits to have. But like no one chooses to like wanna sound unintelligent, you know? So anyway, I need to take a page out of my own book and not say things like thingy majig or the thingy, or you know what I mean? I say that a ton. Let's see, should we, oh man, I don't know. I kind of want to get into the blush. Is that not, are you not supposed to do that? I mean, no one's watching, right? So I'm gonna take that movie blush. Oh, do you guys remember that this blush kind of reminds me of, what was my favorite Rimmel blush? Santa Rosa, is that what it was called? Santa Rose? That thought just came to me. Wow, that's awesome. I don't know what's going on with my camera today. It's like barely been on for a few minutes and it's like overheating, overheating, overheating. I hope that's not like a sign of something worse. But I do love this blush. That is beautiful. Anyway, if I start getting a little annoyed or frustrated, it's because my camera is yelling at me. I'm too hot, turn me off, cool me down. But it's like, dude, you don't just take a sip of water and cool down. Like, you need a full-on lunch break. I don't get a full-on lunch break, so you don't get a full-on lunch break. I really like this color. I don't remember what I was talking about the whole don't sound unintelligent when you're talking. Like, what was that? What was that even related to? I've lost my ADHD superpower where I used to be able to go on a tangent for 2 hours and then come back exactly to the point that I was trying to make. And now I get so lost that I'm like, all right, so I think it's safe to say we can classify this Get Ready With Me as an utter fail. However, instead of being negative and saying, I'm just gonna toss this footage, I'm gonna keep going with it because this is life. And as much as I would love to remember why I got into the tangent about saying thingamajig, I don't. But with my camera overheating and frustrating me, I decided to honor my boundaries and not let it ruin my mood, which meant just keep pushing forward even if your camera's not cooperating right now. So we finished our eye look. I did, do you guys remember these two? This was my transition shade, or like my blown out above, like in this area. Then I took the blush color, and that's my crease color. And I took, as you can tell, savagely, my finger into these two, and that I just kind of bumped on the lid. And it was more of this color than this color. So I took more of this, and I was a little, quite frankly, I was just planning on using that as the lid color, but it was really dark. So then I took some of this on top to kind of lighten it. And on the lower lash line, I was looking at old pictures. Y'all, I used to go to town with my makeup. Like, it looked like a piñata exploded on my face. I kind of miss it, but I also kind of don't. Because I also remember my dependency on a full face of makeup. My dependency on having that many steps for me to feel like I was doing a good job. And now I'm like, man, a little shortcut here, a little short, oh, I still like how I look. So it's liberating, but at the same time, when I look at old pictures and how often I would post like a makeup look on Instagram, I'm like, oh, I should do that. Oh, that was awesome. I want to do that again. And I don't even remember, like, when was the last time? I don't remember the last time I did something like that. Like, do you remember that beautiful, like hot pink, cobalt blue, purple, and it was like really intense. I had super short hair. It's like, oh man, I want to do something like that. Maybe we'll do like a throwback, or like I recreate my look from 10 years ago. This color here, lower lash line. And the reason I brought all that up was because in all of those pictures, I would go heavy on my lower lash line. I mean, heavy. Like I would bring it down and it made my eyes look like big time. And I'm saying that in like a good way. Like, wow, I really loved how that looked. I should do it more often. All right, we're gonna take the same blush that's in here, not dye, and apply it to my cheeks. And I haven't done powder blush in months. So this may backfire horribly because all I've been doing is cream products, and those are very forgiving. If you like overdo it, you can just kind of bump it out, blend it out, whatever. It's like a moisturizer, it's no big deal. But powder, it's been a minute, so she better be on my side right now. But this blush is so gorgeous. I love how it looks subtle and disarming in the pan, and when you put it on, it's really beautiful. You can tell. I mean, I chose it as an eyeshadow as well. It's a very beautiful color. I'm wondering if it's a color that they sell individually, Buxom does, or if it's just limited edition for this specific palette. You guys remember what it was called? The Cocktail Collection? It had a name. Oof, look at that. I did call my mama. I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to do this. Oh man. All right, what should we do? Clean brush, clean brush, clean brush. It's good to have a clean synthetic brush on hand, like this. Like, pretend it's a powder brush, but it's synthetic and it's clean. Nothing's on it, because it tends to have little grabby bristles. And when you go overboard, you don't have to pile more powder on top. You can just go in with your clean brush and it kind of like grabs all that extra stuff, and you can try again. You know, you get a second chance. There it is. Perfect. I got it. We did it. Okay, here's the pickle. I don't know what to do as highlighter. I don't know if I'm prepared. I have this guy here. Do you guys remember this? We used it in the last Get Ready With Me, I think. We did, right? We did? Did we? Oh, you know what? Let's use this one. This one that everyone's like, oh my God, it's so good. We're going to sell it out. And I'm like, I know. Am I going to get hate mail? I think I might get hate mail for saying that. I mean, I love Rare Beauty. I have been dying to try the lip oils because you know how I feel about lip oils. But I also feel some type of way about products I'm outspoken with my inner circle, like my inner circle of like 2 friends. I'm outspoken when I feel safe, when it's people that are in my group, in my bubble, and I would accept criticism and feedback from them as well. So if I give you criticism or feedback, it's because I'll also receive it from you. That's how important you are, right? So that's kind of how I feel about, there are certain things in life that I see, that I witness, and I'm like, whatever, I'm not getting my hands dirty. I'm not getting involved. Dani, keep your mouth shut. Dani, don't say anything. Dani, don't say anything. Okay, here's an example. Okay, and I really hope my camera doesn't act up, but we were at the pediatrician's office. We were getting our little wellness appointments out of the way. And there was a mom with a baby that looked like she was 2 minutes old. And you could tell that this 2-minute-old baby, it's probably like 2 weeks. You could tell that this 2-minute-old baby was also said mom's very first baby, because her face was like, help me, you know? And every time I see a first-time mom like that, I just want to go up to her and say, it's gonna get better, I promise. Right now you feel like, how do I shower? How do I go to the bathroom? Like, oh my God, I ran out of coffee, and you know, I need coffee for the morning. How do I go to the store with this little thing? You know, you feel like you're trapped in the most beautiful prison. And I remember that feeling so vividly. And This is where you guys, if you were sitting here in front of me in person, you'd be stopping me from continuing to put on my face, okay? And since you're not here, we're just gonna go with it. But I really wanna love this product. And I don't know if I'm not using it right, so I figure that the more I use it, I'll figure it out at some point. Okay, so what I was getting at is, it takes a really special occasion for me to open my big mouth. So this mom had, I guess, her baby's like postnatal appointment. I don't even know what those are called, but you know how you take your newborn in a few times during their short life. And anyway, she was there and her baby was crying, and it was very obvious the baby was hungry. It was her "I'm hungry" cry. But the mom was like, okay, I just need to get out of here. Like, I need to do my follow-up appointment. I need to check out. I need to schedule it, and I need to get out. And the mama is like flooded and overwhelmed, but the baby's crying hysterically. So on top of being flooded and overwhelmed, she's embarrassed. Never get embarrassed if your baby is crying. It is not on purpose, and if anyone thinks it is, they're a dick. So this other mom with 2 kids walks in. I would say maybe like 5 and 9 were the kids. And the mom's in line, waiting to schedule her appointment. The associate, like the checkout desk, is on the phone. She's like wrapping up her call, and the mom is like there super embarrassed with her baby and her stroller and her diaper bag and everything. And this mom walks in, steps in front of this newborn baby mom, and says, "Hi, my name is so-and-so. I'm here to check in for an appointment." In the area that I live, there is a big community of no manners, no common courtesy, no moving out of the way. Like if you're at Target and you have their cart and they have their cart and you're coming and there's no room, they will keep going and you have to jump out of the way. And so it's something that bothers me a lot. To an outside person, it might seem irrational, but when you live here, it's very obvious and relatable because we've all experienced it. So when she did that, Mateo looks at me and he goes, "Mom, don't. Mom, please don't. Mom, please don't. Please don't, Mom. Mom, it'll be so embarrassing." And I was like, "Buddy, it's gonna be embarrassing for you, but it's gonna make a difference for that mom." And I said, "Excuse me. She was here first, and she's obviously in a hurry. So can we let her first?" I swear, Mateo like disappeared into the core of the earth. I'm outspoken with stuff like that, but with other stuff, like, do you guys remember Falsies Gate recently? I talked about it in a live. There's some stuff that I just swim around it. I try not to get my hands dirty. I don't like to be involved in controversy or drama, but I will speak out when I feel like I need to, like with this poor mom. After the mom checked out, I ran over and I opened the door for her because you could see she was like, she's holding her baby, she's holding the diaper bag, she has her stroller, and she's like, "Oh my God, how am I gonna open the door to exit?" I was like, I'll get the door, you know, and I got up. And I had people like that in my life when I was alone in Dallas with a newborn baby and co-parent was at work. I had people that did those things for me and they changed my life and they planted a seed, and that's the least that I can do. Anyway, so all of that to say that extremely long anecdote that full of all those examples, me sharing how I potentially traumatized my child, and he'll be talking about it in therapy in 20 years, to say that when I hear about a beauty product that is talked about constantly, and I don't agree with what is said, I do feel that because I am somewhat involved in the mix of things or in this industry, or that I still like to play with makeup, that it would be fair for me to say if I think otherwise. Does that make sense? And not to go against the grain or not to slander or not to be like, "Oh, okay, because everyone's talking about something that's viral, I'm gonna talk about it too, but I'm gonna be the antagonist." That's not even how I think about it. The way I think about it, and the way I'll always think about it, is as a consumer. So as a consumer, when I see everyone talk about this product, I wanna get my hands on it too. And I want to get my hands on it because I want to see what all the hype's about, right? That actually happened to me recently with the fat oils from NYX. This is just the Lash Accelerator from Rimmel, and I like to use it as a base. I normally don't do my lashes on camera, but because I didn't do my eyeshadow, I feel like I owe you guys some time, you know, like some hangout girl time. I always, forever and always will see myself as a consumer because I still feel that emotion, that excitement, and that anxiety of a new product release, especially when it becomes hard to find. Especially when you get the limited edition words thrown in there or the sold out. Limited edition and sold out are so triggering for me when it comes to work, beauty products, you know, shopping, stuff like that. It's like, ugh, it's the worst. I hate hearing those two words. I don't fall for it anymore, but I still do like to find out what the hype's all about. So that happened to me with the Rare Beauty highlighters. They were sold out, sold out, sold out, sold out, sold out. And it wasn't something that I could go swatch in store. So I put it on my reminder, like wish list or whatever on Sephora, so that when it came back in stock, they'd send me a text and email reminder. So when it came back in stock, I got it. And I think that two things happened. A, when something gets talked about so much, it automatically sets the standard or the bar higher than usual, right? And B, when you already are a fan of the brand and have only amazing things to say, when they don't match the other products that you already love, maybe you don't take it as well, or you take it the same way, or you're more critical in the way that you rate it for yourself. So you guys know, I like to be devil's advocate, but I also like to see all points. I like to investigate all avenues. I like to be able to suggest who would like it or who would be better for. And so every time I look at that highlighter from Rare Beauty, I didn't even tell you guys the name. Where'd it go? See, it's not even easy to find. Exhilarate, the highlighter from Rare Beauty and Exhilarate that sells out every time it comes back in stock. It's good, but it's not innovative or unique, or there's nothing extra special about it. In fact, I probably would have lost my cool more if it had been in the cream format that the blushes are, because then it would be something that I love to use together. So it is good. Here's a little, do you see that? Like, it's pretty, right? But it's a lot. It kind of reminds me of Kitten, the eyeshadow from Stila, which is one of my favorites. So anyway, that long thing, long story, long anecdote, long hanging out with you guys, because I feel like that's important. If I sit here and I talk to you guys about a product, I want to tell you exactly how I feel about it and how I tend to use it, or what the benefits are, what the downside is. It doesn't matter how much I love it, because makeup is one of those things where it's like finding your man, you know? Some people like them juicy, some people like them hairy, some people like them slippery like a seal. And we all have different preferences and what we're into, and I think that applies very much so to makeup and our skin tone and our skin type and the season that we're in and our geographical location and our diet and how much we drink water. You know what I mean? Like, those are all things that we should factor when we're taking product recommendations. So this happened to me recently with the NYX lip oils. I think they're called fat oil. I think it's called fat oil. So NYX released lip oils, you know, staying relevant and on trend with what's cool right now, which are lip oils. And I'm a huge fan of the lip oils from Makeup Revolution, from House Labs, from Stila just released lip oils, and they are amazing. They have sparkle in them too, if that's something that you like, instead of just tint. But to me, a lip oil has to be an oil. And so I wanted to see what all the hype was about the NYX ones, the little fatty ones. And it's a gloss. I'm sorry, I'm going out on a limb here, and I might, you know, get crucified in the comments. To me, it's a gloss. It is a sticky jelly gloss, and that is not a lip oil to me. A lip oil is an oil, and an oil, you know, kind of makes your lips shiny for a little while, and then it dissipates or it absorbs into your lips, but your lips feel awesome. They feel hydrated. Sometimes it leaves a tint, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it leaves a sparkle, other times it doesn't. And so the oils from NYX, to me, were a big pass. Not because it's a bad product, but because if I see oil on there and I put it on my lips, I expect it to be an oil. And so that might be the inflexible, like neurodivergent, like autistic part of me that doesn't handle flexibility well. Yes, shocker. I don't handle flexibility well, so if a label to me says oil, I expect it to function as such. And so I think it might just be called oil because it has oil in it, but to say it has a texture of a lip oil or what lip oils are on the market right now, it's not. It's totally a gel gloss. It's like one of those glosses that, actually this happened to me, I think, with Charlotte Tilbury. I don't remember what the product was exactly, but it was a really sticky gloss, and I was expecting like a jelly collagen oil. And I was like, not okay with this. Does not compute, you know, like instantly triggered. Sorry if my face is blurry because my hand's in the way, but you know what I'm doing. I'm putting some mascara. That's it, I did my mascara. What do we think? I love putting on mascara. Doesn't it make such a big difference? I'm leaving the little mascara smudges there on purpose because once it dries, I'll just wipe it off and it won't leave a smear. So what do we think? Now we just need to do lips. I think for lips, we're just probably gonna go with something that I have sitting here from last PR haul that I did, which were the Buxom, because they're like, they all match. In front of me, I have my caboodle, and she is full of goodness. What should we try? I do love this power line from Buxom. What is this? Is this a blush? It's a lip balm. Oh, what does this look like? Oh, that's nice. Oh, let's do that. I'll do this power line and then I'll do that on top. That feels nice. The fact that I was like, ooh, what is this? This is everything you need to know about what I know that I have. Here we go. These lip liners, like this new trend of lip liners with a funny shape. The Gwen Stefani brand has an eyebrow pencil. And the shape of that eyebrow pencil, I'm like, is this for right-handed people or like for koalas? Like, do I need to have a thumb to use this pencil? Because the shape of the tip is really weird. It is super weird. And so it was hard. Again, see, you see my inflexibility? I'm like, well, it's an eyebrow pencil. Why doesn't it look like an eyebrow pencil? Why is the tip so hard? But here's the thing is, I know there are resources out there. This is something that I know. This is something that I could YouTube, I could Google. Heck, I could probably go on the site, on the Sephora site, or even, I'm sure the makeup brand, like the actual brand has a site, and it'll tell me how to use it, how to hold it. It'll tell you everything. But who has time for that kind of research? That's what I'm for, right? Like, I'm supposed to research it for you, and I'm here saying, like, who has time to do that kind of research? I guess I'm the one dropping the ball here for you guys, right? So I just returned it. Anyone else at that point in their life where they just cannot? That's it. That's the sentence. Like, I cannot. Can't be bothered. Can't. Just not doing it. It's not happening, friends. It is not happening. Well, you guys, I'm super proud. I feel like we really turned this around. You know, like I was there. I was getting a little triggered when the serum concealer from IT Cosmetics wasn't delivering like true tone color on my camera. So I started getting mad at my camera, and then my camera started to heat up. And I was like, no, I gotta really turn this around. So I hope that you guys will forgive me that I had to omit some of the eyeshadow part, but it really wasn't hard. I do my eyeshadow the same way every time. there's no novelty. Like I'm not discovering new things here, you guys. Anyway, I really enjoy hanging out with you, and this may sound totally weird and far-fetched. You're not in the room, you're not answering, but I still feel like we're having a conversation. I feel like I may touch on certain things where you're at home, like doing your dishes, or I don't know, eating your lunch on your lunch break, and you're like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. Anyway, I truly enjoy hanging out with you guys. Like any and all my Get Ready With Me's, I will list and link all of the products that I used in this video. And I guess my dress too. Look how cute it is. Do you guys remember? It's from a Amazon dress haul that I did, I think last summer. So I'll make sure to list and link all of that stuff, like my watch band. Anything that I'm wearing is always listed down below, including my nail polish. And that's it. I love you guys so much, and you know what to do. If you found this video useful, entertaining, and learned something, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, this coffee break is over. Bye guys. Okay, and if you ever see a new mom with a baby, heck, any mom with a baby that looks like she's embarrassed and people around her are annoyed, her kids aren't crying on purpose. Be her friend. I know you guys can do it. In fact, if you're a part of this community, you've probably already done it. And that's why I love you.